Welcome to a very special edition of Feasting on Agriculture. This month we're home for the holidays, my home in fact, and we're cooking up a few of my favorite holiday dishes with a special guest chef, my mom.
Feasting on Agriculture is brought to you by the Louisiana Crawfish Promotion and Research Board, Louisiana Crawfish, ask before you eat, and by the Louisiana Beef Industry Council, beef, it's what's for dinner, and by the Louisiana Rice Promotion Board, think rice.
The holidays are here, and it's a time when many families not only gather around the dinner table, but also in the kitchen to prepare meals for their celebrations. And some of my fondest memories revolve around the kitchen, helping my mom prepare and learn how to prepare dishes for our celebrations. And my mom's here today with us, Becky Oakes, and she is one of the best cooks that I know, and 99% of everything that I know about cooking, especially baking, I learned from you. So where did you learn to cook, and where did that love of cooking, where was that fostered?
Well, my love of cooking came from my mother too. And my job at home was basically to do the pies and to do the sweets. And so when Christmas comes, we started cooking, and we cooked for months, it seemed like, but it wasn't that long. But we cooked candy and cookies and cakes and all sorts of things. So it really does make Christmas when you cook.
Special, yeah. Well, we're going to share some of those recipes today because you've got some staple holiday dishes in my mind. But first, I feel like I'm going to give something, since you've taught me so much about cooking. I'm going to teach you a dish that I found last year, and I prepared it for our Christmas celebration, and it's a cheesecake, but it's not a cheesecake dessert. It's a cheesecake appetizer.
Okay.
A crawfish cheesecake. I'm going to recruit you
Okay.
to help me. So we're going to start out. The first thing that we need to do is we need a sleeve of Ritz crackers.
Okay.
So we just want them crushed finely.
All right.
As fine as we can get them. Here, I'll help you. I can just
Maybe I am.
You do that. So once we've got our Ritz crackers crushed, we're gonna add half a cup of Parmesan cheese. So move this out of the way. We'll just shake that up. And we're gonna add this to the bottom of a spring-loaded pan. Then we add with half a stick of melted butter. Stir this up. We're pressing it in. Now this part is done. So from here, we need 3 strips of bacon. We're gonna saute 3 strips of bacon, remove the bacon, and then cook our onions in the bacon grease.
Okay.
So now we're moving on to the cheesecake, I guess, part of the recipe. We've got 3 8-ounce packages of cream cheese, and you want to have them at room temperature. We've got 2 in the mixer already. You can use a hand mixer if you don't have a stand mixer. To me, it's just always easier to use the KitchenAid mixer. Then we're gonna add 1 cup of heavy cream. So the next thing we're gonna do is add 3 eggs, and these are 3 eggs from my chicken coop outside. Now we're gonna add 2 cups of shredded Swiss cheese. Now we're going to add our sauteed onions. We also need to crumble the bacon. Now we're adding the star of the show, crawfish tails. So we've got 12 ounces. We drain the package first, and we're gonna fold this in. Okay, now is where
That
I
looks good.
really need your help.
Okay.
Because
Your bowl doesn't have a handle on it.
no, it doesn't. It does not. So you hold the bowl,
Okay.
and I'll scoop.
I'm not going to spill it
Oh, I'm not
yet.
too worried. Time to bake in the oven.
You want me to open it for you?
We've got it at 375, and it will stay in here for 40 minutes until it's golden brown at the top. Through the magic of TV, ta-da, we have our final product ready. You can serve it with crackers, Ritz crackers like we made the crust with. We have water crackers. You can also take French bread, slice it. If you really adventurous, slice it up, bake it, have some crispy rounds. Great thing to bring to any party. When we come back from the break, now it's Mom's turn to take the lead, and she's gonna do her pecan pie. Okay. Stay with us. Now for the real cooking lesson time, because you're an educator, a principal, a teacher, but you really shine as a baking superstar. So now it's your turn to teach me, and this is your most famous dish to me because it's not the holidays without a pecan pie. So teach me your ways.
Well, it's really an easy dish to do, but I've tried many different recipes, and my favorite recipe is the one from Cotton Country Cookbook. And it says it's the best pecan pie, and it is, because for different reasons. I don't like to make a pecan pie with whole pecans. Or even half pecans. I like it with the pieces. And I like a pecan pie that's not too sweet, because when it's really, really sweet, it's hard to eat.
Okay.
So the first thing you need to do in this pecan pie recipe is kind of prioritize. And the first thing we're going to do is to melt our butter here. And so this has been melted, it's waiting to go into the pie. So it has 3 eggs in it. Now you whisk these up. The next thing you put in are your sugars. There's 1 cup of granulated sugar. Of course, this is good Louisiana cane sugar, we hope.
That's very true, yes.
Yeah. And the next thing that we're going to put in is Karo syrup, white, clear Karo syrup. I don't like the dark kind because it makes it a little strong, and I think this gives it a better flavor. So there you go. Mix this up pretty good. Just half a teaspoon of lemon juice. And so that cuts some of that sweetness right there. A pinch of salt. Just a little pinch, just not very much at all. And then a teaspoonful of vanilla flavoring. After that, you can put in a cup of chopped pecans. I like the chopped pecans because
I will say this is what makes, to me, your pecan pie so different, because you just don't see many. Most of them use whole pecans, and I don't know that it necessarily affects the taste, but I just have always liked this pie because it's chopped pecans.
Yeah, that's the reason I like it too. And the recipe calls for chopped pecans too. I probably would never have used it like that until I'd read that recipe. And the next thing you're going to do is take your butter and pour the butter, melted butter in.
Now, isn't this a big part? I've heard when people ask how do you make your pecan pie, this is a big part of this recipe, right?
Oh, yes.
The brown butter.
Right. We're going to pour it into an unbaked pie shell. You just pour it in to the unbaked crust, and then you put it in the oven. See? Really quick.
Okay.
The way it's cooked is really important. 10 minutes at 425, then you turn the temperature back to 350 for 40 minutes. And pretty much it's definitely gonna be ready. Even though it might jiggle a little in here, you take it out and it's good, it sets up and it's ready to go. I don't like a pecan pie that's cooked too much.
Well, we've got a visitor now that
I see that.
Really wants to taste this. So give him a spoon. This is Teddy, who's ready to taste some of this pecan pie. Teddy, say hello to TWILA.
Say hi. Hello.
Well, if you want this recipe and some of our other favorites that I'm going to put on a blog post, including the cheesecake, we put a link on our website at twilatv.org. So we hope you all have a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays. Say bye-bye, Teddy.
Say bye-bye.
See you next time.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Feasting on Agriculture was brought to you by the Louisiana Crawfish Promotion and Research Board. Louisiana Crawfish, ask before you eat. And by the Louisiana Beef Industry Council, beef, it's what's for dinner. And by the Louisiana Rice Promotion Board. Think rice.